Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Chuke, is that you? No! F***ing Chuke!
Hey guys. 45 Tactical, and I finally got a chance to shoot the FNH gun. My buddy had one, and I gotta say I was pretty impressed. So I want to do a little comparison and talk about which one I would choose. So first of all, the FNH is a little bit longer of a barrel. It's slightly longer of a barrel, very similar. They're both full-size, hammer-fired duty weapons loaded in 45 ACP. This FNH pistol was just amazing because, of course, it was in flat dark earth. I'm a big fan of that. Had a light on it. 15 plus 1 rounds. That's hard to beat. Obviously, the HK does not have capacity like that. But it also had the red dot on top, which is really cool. Right now, there's a couple specialty shops I know of that will mill a HK45, but it's not very common. It's expensive. You got to send it in. HKparts.net, you can replace the rear sight with one of those high-sitting plates to put a red dot, which I may do because it's a cheaper option, but it's also pretty lame because it's not low sitting, and obviously, you know, sitting in a dovetail sight deal is not ideal. But this 45 FNH was just amazing. It was fun to shoot.
Hands on a FNX 45 Tactical. I really thought about getting one of these, but I'm an HK guy, so I went with the HK 45 Tactical, but that was a difficult decision because as you can see, this is totally cherried out with the optic, the Trijicon, and the light, and it's got a higher capacity. It's a double stack. So I've never shot one of these, so really looking forward to it. Let's see how she does. Rip a mag out, put another one in. I can edit a lot of that stuff out, which is the beauty of it. Very nice. That thing is beautiful. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I still like my HK, but this is a beautiful gun. The color, everything. I want one too. I highly recommend this.
You know, it felt good in the hand, great grip angle, hammer fired. I mean, what's not to like about that gun? One con it had was that kind of similar to my Tang Foglio, the mags did not drop out on their own when they were full. So you would have to, it would slide out about 1.5 inches and you'd have to rip the mag out to replace another thing. So that's disappointing. So, I mean, it's got a decocker, it's got a safety. I'm not a big fan of the safeties on pistols, but you know, threaded barrel, just amazing. Like I said, the barrel's a little bit longer off on the FNH Tactical, so you're probably going to get a little more velocity out of that gun. And then we've had my, I've showcased this before, the HK45 Tactical by Heckler & Koch. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Unfortunately, this is the LEM trigger, which I'm not that big of a fan on. I would like to move to a different variant and put a, you know, the decocker version. But then again, Gray Guns offers a light LEM trigger, so I may try that because I've heard good things about it. A lot of law enforcement like the LEM trigger because it's not a hair trigger, and they're not going to accidentally shoot somebody, just by touching the trigger. You really got to pull back on this. It's basically like a double action revolver. So I think the trigger was nicer on the FNH. Obviously, like I said, no red dot on this thing, but it's got the threaded barrel. It's got decent length. It's got a rail, which is kind of nice. The USPs, the older USPs, tacticals, you had to have that special adapter to put a modern light on here. And I've got an O light on here. Pros for this thing, well, one of the biggest cons is capacity, of course. 15 plus 1, 45 ACP in that FNH pistol, that's, there's nothing on the market right now that can beat that I know of, just production guns. That is amazing. So there's one reason why you would choose an FNH over an HK, absolutely. And I would agree with you, if capacity was a big factor, which it usually is, I mean, the FNH would be a good choice. This thing is 10 plus 1, but I did get from HK Parts, I got, extended mag base where I've got 13 rounds in this mag. So 13 plus 1, isn't that bad compared to 15 plus 1. You're just losing 2, and it's a little bit longer, but not by much, because that FNH sticks out way. It's got a big base pad on it, so they can fit 15 rounds in there. So you're a little bit longer, but not by much with one of those things. So you can make up for some of that with some extended mags. This thing is clear. Nothing in this mag. Sorry about that. This has the paddle release, which takes some time to get used to, and you can do it with your thumb or your finger. I do like the paddle design. It's very intuitive. Even if I'm transitioning from my Glock, it's no big deal to do that. The mag release is much easier to hit. It's longer and extended on the HK compared to the FNH, so a lot better mag release in my opinion. You can also shoot 45 Super out of this HK 45 Tactical, and this footage of me shooting, the reason why it's so stout, I was testing 45 Super. I'll have another video on that, but I have read some reports of people shooting 45 Super out of their FNH Tactical, but obviously the manufacturer doesn't recommend it. For that case, HK doesn't recommend it either, but I would trust the HK more shooting 45 Super, because people have done it extensively with these HK 45s and the USP, obviously. So that's another pro in my book, is you can confidently shoot 45 Super, which brings your firearm up to another level. I also, despite the capacity, I like the feel of this gun in my hand. If you got small hands like me, you're going to be able to wrap your hand around this. It's feel thin like a 1911, even thinner, and you really get a good purchase on it. It's a much better grip in my mind than the FNH, which is nice, but the FNH with the double stack feels more like a Glock or something in my hand. So I just like the way this feels. So at the end of the day, I would choose HK, mainly because of just the reliability that I have found with HKs. And that's not to say that FNH is not reliable. We had no malfunctions in that FNH 45 Tactical. I've had a Scar 17. They make great things. It's a hammer-fired gun. It's reliable. I just think HKs are known for reliability, and nothing as far in the semi-automatic market, nothing is more reliable in an HK in my mind. So I will always choose HK if given the opportunity. Little bit bummed about the capacity, but the upside is you've got this great grip that I can really grip this with small hands, So I got to give it to HK. But that being said, the correct answer would be just buy one of each. I mean, I want one of those FNH 45 Tacticals. I'd love to have both. But if I could only have one, I would choose the HK. So let me know if I'm off base and what you guys would choose. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's Chuke, your friend in the field.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, look, get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10mm. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch Chuke all side every time. Guaranteed.